Traditional turbans, known as the khăn diep or khăn dong in Vietnamese, is an essential part of the Vietnamese traditional costume. This turban can be combined with various types of costume, including the áo dai. However, there are now only 2 villages in Hue and Nam Dinh that can make this traditional accessory. Now let's go to Giap Nat village in district Nam Dinh province to see how a turban is made. These are the steps to make a turban. A turban is handmade with detail-oriented approach, which requires half craftsmanship. This is the last step to make a complete turban. Let the glue and the outer layer of the turban to dry. Doan Van Thi, Giap Nat village, Nam Dinh province, said the most difficult part is to roll the turban. Only very skillful craftspeople can be able to make this multi-layer turban. Now, thanks to the creativity of crafters, many steps in making the turban can now be carried out with the help of machines. Productivity, therefore, is gaining significantly. Doan Van Thi from Giap Nat village, Nam Dinh province, said fabrics and foam were bought in Dong Xuan market in Hanoi. The glue, which was once made of sticky rice paste, is now substituted with flour and glue mixture in order to stick the foam and fabrics together. Luan Van Duong Giap, also from Nat village, Nam Dinh province, said in the old days they used scrap paper, chopped hay, and everything was hand-sewn. Now they can do many steps with machines. Therefore, instead of only 10 turbans a day, they can now make more than 50 turbans. Although the village's main production is turbans, there are only some household products being produced. The rest of the villages only produce items for outsourced orders. Older people and women account for most of the workforce. Luang Thi Duon Giap from Nat village, Nam Dinh province, said this is a great job for her to earn some extra money and feel relaxed at the same time. This is a job that's suitable for an elderly person like herself. She can earn up to 2 million Vietnamese dollars a month. Since local people here do not live on this craft alone, they are not affected by the market or price fluctuations. This is why for generations the turban-making craft has continued to be passed down, setting the stage for further generations to carry on this traditional craft. The Lao government has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring that the ongoing construction of the Xayaburi Dam on the Mekong mainstream is undertaken in a transparent manner and that stakeholders are kept informed. Deputy Prime Minister Somsavat Lengsavad said he believes through sincere and constructive discussion the public will gain an understanding based on scientific grounds for all mainstream hydropower development jobs. To this end, the government convened a dissemination workshop for representatives of international organizations, NGOs, and other stakeholders on the status of the Xayaburi and Don Sahong hydropower project developments, which took place at Don Chang Palace Hotel in Vientiane. Speaking at the meeting, Deputy Prime Minister Somsavat Lengsavad said the Xayaburi hydropower project on the Mekong mainstream is a run-of-river scheme that is a world-class undertaking and key to Laos's overall hydropower development program. The purpose of this project is to utilize the great hydropower resources that Laos has been blessed with in order to produce power for domestic supply and export. Revenues generated by this project will add to the national budget and contribute to national development aimed at graduating from the least developed country status. Moreover, it will provide a strong impetus for immediate and long-term industrialization and modernization. The government of Laos notes with pride that since the groundbreaking in 2012, the Xayaburi mainstream hydropower project has been on track as planned and has made impressive progress. The project enjoys the enthusiastic support not only of Lao people from all ethnicities but also of observers from friendly countries. Furthermore, respected scientists and experts with vast experience developing run-of-river schemes around the world have supported and congratulated the scientists on the project. Meanwhile, the main objectives of the workshop were to validate the understanding, transparency and high level of accountability of the Lao government and the Xayaburi hydropower project developer, and to underscore that there will be no harmful cross-border consequences from this project. It is also to show that a pre-consultation process under the 1995 Mekong Agreement was properly implemented by adhering to the spirit of the agreement, and with support from the state parties, the Lao government aims to enable the mainstream hydropower development to offer optimal benefits for the people of the region without any major concerns, and to serve as a forum where internationally recognized experts who were involved in the detailed feasibility study will deliver presentations and share all relevant data and information with the public in a transparent manner, addressing in particular concerns over sediment transport and fish migration. Deputy Premier Somsavat believed that through sincere and constructive discussion in this dissemination workshop, the public will gain an understanding based on scientific grounds for all mainstream hydropower development projects. Laos will adhere to the principles defined in the 1995 Mekong Agreement and conform to internationally recognized standards and practices for the sustainable development of water resources. Over 2.5 tons of historical artifacts have been unearthed from Empress Palace, the largest ever haul in Singapore. Some of these discoveries date back over 700 years, giving clues about life in pre-colonial Singapore. From locally made earthenware bowls to ceramic Buddhist figurines, possibly from China, and a wooden panel repurposed from parts of an early ship. In what the National Heritage Board calls an archaeology jackpot, the dig site outside the Victoria Concert Hall yielded an unprecedented number of quality artifacts, hundreds of years old, early this year. These artifacts give us a window into the lives of people who once lived on the island formerly known as Temasek. They include these porcelain pieces originally from the courts of early Ming Dynasty emperors.
This is considered imperial grade, only used for the imperial family, namely only one man in the imperial family, that's the emperor. It's extremely rare to find it outside of China, but we're seeing sufficient pieces now, more of it, to allow us to suggest that there may be some sort of established form of government. There must be some sort of leader for the government, which even the Chinese government recognized and had this exchange.
With the site slated for development by the Urban Redevelopment Authority, Mr. Lim and his team of archaeologists had a tight window of just over 2 months to complete the dig. But the team wasn't alone in this endeavour. Mr. Lim says the team owes much of its success to the efforts of many volunteers.
I think it's very rewarding because you don't have a chance to come into contact with history so close and to really touch it because it's material and you can see it instead of like reading it in a textbook or even at a museum. This is very different because it's very personal.
Certainly, I think eventually when we assess the historical significance of these artifacts, we hope to use them in the storylines of our museum so that people will get a better understanding of what Singapore's history was like 700 years ago.
After the artifacts are cleaned and catalogued, the National Heritage Board said they would be added to the national collection. The Kali Chrysologo and the Dancing Fountainaire are just two of many tourist attractions of vegan city Ilocos Sur, one of the new 7 wonders cities. Famous in its cobblestone streets, old houses and kalisas, Kali Chrysologo is indeed a place of old times. anyone won't regret visiting the street with scenes of old times, the Spanish era. Since this place is close to traffic, a romantic walk or a ride in calesas or horse-drawn carriages will complete the day. The calesa is the major mode of transportation during the Spanish time. It is awesome to see the same during this modern time. According to many, Calle Crisologo or Mina Crisologo for Ilocanos is the most beautiful street in the Philippines. Because of several Spanish ancestral structures along the street, this was named as UNESCO World Heritage Site. Reviewing Philippines history, Calle Crisologo once became the commercialization center of northern Luzon. This became well known to Chinese, Spanish, Mexican, Japanese, and European businessmen. This was named after the name of Don Mina Crisologo, the former governor of Ilocos Sur. And in 1572, this was called Calle Escolta de Vigan by Juan de Salecido, a Spanish conquistador. And to preserve its beauty during the regime of President Fidel Ramos, all motored vehicles were not permitted to pass through the street. Only calesa are allowed. Aside from the Calle Crisologo, Vigan is also proud of their dancing fountain in Plaza Salcedo. The 30 minutes fountain show exhibits spectacular water and lights display that will surely capture the attentions of Ilocanos and tourists alike. The dancing fountain and the Calle Crisologo are just two of numerous tourist attractions of Ilocos that not only in the Philippines should be proud of, but also in ASEAN and in the whole world. Professional barbers from all over the country take part in a shaved hair design contest held in northern tourist destination of Chiang Mai. The event was held by the National Hairdressers Association and Chiang Mai Beauty Association, aiming to improve the standard of the country's hair patterns and design while promoting Thai tourism industry. Each hairdresser took around 1 hour to cut and create patterns on models' head. The traceries are varied from Thai traditional design to human's face. Before the contest began, there were some performances and haircut demonstration from professional barbers, which perfectly entertained all participants, including Thai and foreign tourists. All winners of each category got a trophy with some cash. The first place won 20,000 baht, the second 15,000 baht, and third 7,000 baht. Meanwhile, there were also a special 3,000 baht cash award for hairdressers who won media popular vote, excellent patterns and creative patterns. Creating hairlines and patterns on the head is widely popular among Thai teenagers, which makes good income for the hairdressers. The service costs around 250 baht to 1,000 baht depending on how complicated the patterns are.